Hello, these are notes for section 9.6. If you're in my iPad class, it's actually our section 8.6. First of all, I wrote this problem up here at the top because I wanted to remind you how to factor a trinomial. We would use our parentheses, and we see at the beginning we have an x squared. So we know that's x times x. And at the end we see 15. We say to ourselves, what times what is 15? That would actually add up to 8. And we know that's going to be 5 and 3. 5 and 3 add up to 8. And then we look at our symbols and we see there's a plus sign. So we know the signs are the same and they will both be positive. And we're finished. These are going to be a little bit different because now instead of x times x, there's going to be a coefficient of x squared other than 1 that we already had. So for example, in this first problem, we're going to see a 2. So we need to ask ourselves, what times what is 2? So when we factor, we have 2x and 1x instead of just x times x. And then we look at the end, we see a 3. And again, we say to ourselves, what times what is 3? Well, we only have one option, 3 and 1. So we put in 3 and 1. But here's the deal. 3 plus 1 obviously does not equal 7. So the way we get 7 is we're going to multiply the 2x and the 1, and that's 2x, and the 3 and the 1x, and that's 3x. I call this checking your smiles. But 2 plus 3 doesn't equal 7 either. Well, one thing we can do is I'm going to erase the 3 and the 1, and I'm going to switch them so that I have 1 and 3. Now, 2 times 3 equals 6. So we have 6x, and 1 times 1 is 1x, and that's what gives us 7x. The symbol rules are still the same. There's a plus at the end, so the signs are the same, and they're both negative. Real quick, at the problem up at the top, if you check your smiles on that problem, 3x plus 5x gives you 8x. So it's just like what we did before, a little bit harder because of this 2 out in front. So let's try it again. For the second problem, we write our parentheses, we look in the front, and we see 3n squared. So that's 3n and 1n. And we look at the end, and there's a 5. So we're going to place 5 and 1 into these parentheses. So our choices are 5 and 1, or we could switch them around and say 1 and 5. We need to get a 14 in the end. So I'm going to place 1 and 5 in that order. When I check my smiles, I multiply and get 15n. And in the middle, I get 1n. And I'm supposed to have a positive 14. So I need for the 15 to be positive and the 1 to be negative. So 15 is positive, and 1 is going to be negative. So the final answer is 3n minus 1 and n plus 5. So again, it's a little bit tougher, and we will certainly do this for a few days. Why don't you go ahead and do the 2 checkpoint problems, and actually it's just 1 checkpoint problem, and we'll do that in class tomorrow.